Good morning and welcome to You're On with Maureen Umeh. He's an international recording artist, entrepreneur, and now a best-selling author, fresh off global recognition and giving back across continents. Amillion Mayfield is joining me to talk about his new album and book, The One, and the movement behind it. So good having you on here. You are on Amillion Mayfield. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me once again.
So global recognition, you've gotten awards in London, you're honored here at home. What moment made you realize that, this is a different level for you?
Honestly, it was humbly being able to walk out of a 9 to 5 without fear when my daughter was born and being able to make sure my mother was retired.
Wow.
Those were two humbling moments for me.
Let's take people to the backstory. You're a DMV native.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What's the
born
backstory?
in D.C. by way of Delaware.
There you go. Okay, so what's the backstory? How did you come to be Amillion Mayfield, this multi-pronged talent, poet, author, CEO? How did you come to be?
Still an ordinary man with extraordinary gifts. That's how I look at it. My mother birthed me. She named me Amillion, so she gave me something to
live up to, right?
Live up to.
My goodness, yes.
And but it meant one in a million from day one. So it's more about the purpose than the name. It was more about that, more than the fame, more than recognition. And I just feel like each day I'm still learning and growing.
Yeah.
Every new state, every new country, just keeping that same mentality, the same hunger, and remembering where I came from.
When did you realize, though, that you had a gift for reaching people, a talent for poetry, rapping, for really being like a catalyst, which is what you are in so many different realms? When did you realize there's something different here beyond me having the self-affirmation, my mom giving me this name? When did you realize, okay, there's something here?
That's a great question. My mother always did tell me I had a way with words. And I think it was when I identified that what I was doing naturally and easily and rhyming without thinking. I always say like my life didn't rhyme, but I made it poetry. I think it was when I realized that was able to turn into something. So to give you a specific answer, I could think back to my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I was trying to rush. It was an English class. It was like do a poem about something, and I was kind of late.
Yeah.
Just got done basketball or something like that from a game, and I was like, all right, let me just hurry put something together. And it was a play off a phenomenal woman, and I did my own phenomenal man. I came in that class, I gave it to them. Next day they told me to stand up and say, I was like, oh my God, did I get in trouble? They had teachers in there. I'm like, what's going on? And I said it, and that poem ended up giving me scholarships.
Wow.
I was like, how did I do that? I just wasn't thinking.
Do you remember it still?
Yeah, I do.
Give me a little bit of it.
Oh my goodness.
Just a little bit, not the whole thing.
Phenomenal man. Individuality, phenomenal man. Free to be all that I can be, loud as I can be, black as I can be, phenomenal man. I'm athletic, but still earn a doctorate degree. Phenomenal man, don't stereotype me because there's more than what meets the eye. Yes, on the court I can fly. However, off the court you won't find me high. Though I may go the route of Bill Bradley and not Bill Gates, I'm like Diana Ross in that I will survive and prevail like Rocky's Part 1, 2, and 3. So the next time you see me, it'll be on TV. And you would say phenomenal man, number 23, individuality, maybe a 10-figure salary. Phenomenal man, that's me.
Oh my God, and that was off the dome.
That was from 16 years old, and I just remember. I don't know how I remember it.
Muscle memory. I mean, but that's God-given talent, because I think if you do something that's like breathing, that's how you know this is what God meant for you to do.
And that's what I learned later.
Yeah.
But I just took you back to day one.
Man, okay. Speaking of day one, let's talk about The One.
Okay.
You've got this book, right?
Oh, we here, my baby.
Where did the book come from? What prompted you to say, I've got this in me and I need to release it?
That was one of them day ones too. This is my third book, technically. My first book was Poetry in Motion Proceeds. Then I had a children's book with my daughter. Hey, Lily. And the one was more about after you find yourself, how do you define yourself?
How do you define yourself?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. After you find yourself, because I always felt like I was the one from my mother giving me that confidence and my father and his charisma. And going from basketball to, I always was the one that was doing something. And I wanted to be now synonymous with the one that found herself and gave all glory up to the one, to the one God. So it was always the Amillion or the one that did this, or the one that international artist of the year, or the best seller. But at the end of the day, it was all one gift in me. It was all my gift of word.
So how do you define yourself now?
The one.
The one.
The one.
Simply.
Whether it is the one that made it, the one, whatever you define it
yeah.
as. I feel like it's going to be different based on who I get to connect with. And I love that.
So what came first? Was it kind of the message, the music, the movement? What came first?
The word. It was definitely, that's why I'm still a AmillionThePoet to this day. I don't care if I get a Grammy or whatever. It's that gave me my introduction to the world. It was my gift of words. So before the houses, everything, it was AmillionThePoet. I put out a book and I just said, let's just try to see what it's going to do.
I want to take you, so you said, you obviously you're a man of faith.
Yes.
And is that what grounds you? Is that what focuses you?
That's definitely what focuses me. Yeah. That's what really the one is to me.
How do you impart this message onto young people who get caught up in the glitz and glamour? I mean, they see your accolades, they see your success, and oh man, he must be balling and dude. How do you ground them to say, you know what, without God or whoever the higher power is you believe in, there is no this?
I mean, look at it. It's not the light that shines on us, it's the light that shines in us. I feel like that is what it is, and there is a one that's inside of all of us. So even I just left the Empowerment Summit the other day. And can I get your autograph? You can get my sign of respect, because I don't want you to idolize me. You have a one inside of you, so this is just our opportunity to connect.
So you say you get my sign of respect.
Sign of respect. I
like
don't do
that.
autographs.
I'm going to start using that because I always feel weird when people ask me my autograph.
Me too.
Like, why do you want my autograph?
Me
I mean,
too.
you can do exactly what I'm doing.
Yes.
This was a talent and gift that God gave me, to be able to talk to people and you can do it too. I don't want you to ever put me on a pedestal.
Right.
And I will say this, which is what I found. I think that sometimes, and maybe I'm wrong in this, I think that in this world that has become so materialistic and fixated on fame, people do not respect when folks like maybe you or me say, I'm going to take the back seat.
Yes.
It doesn't, they leapfrog you, and I've seen that happen. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
finding that balance where, okay, I've got to toot my horn a little bit too, but I don't want to do it too much. I realize that this is not my doing. That's a challenge.
It is.
Yeah.
And I remind myself of that every day. It's not about me.
Yeah.
Even when I say the one, I know it gets that. Like, who do you think you are?
Who do you think exactly?
But by the time I'm done speaking, I want you to know who you are.
Wow. So the first time I met you, you came into the studio because I saw you take a sip of water.
Oh,
because
look,
you had, I know.
no pun intended.
Yeah, the water line. And I thought, okay, you definitely had charisma when you walked. I was like, okay, who is this guy? And then the name, of course, catches your attention. But you're doing so much, right? The book is one aspect of it. We'll talk about the water in a bit. But you're also you have an album out, and this is not album number one. No, you've done how many albums now?
Well, fourth official outcoming album. But
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm close to 10 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
And in each album, is it a different message or is it a continuation of the same message?
Evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution. And I never even transitioned from AmillionThePoet. It was like, what happens when now you go from being an artist to having your own record label? What happens when going from being a dreamer to a liver? I just kept documenting the journey. So whether people chose to get it in the book, whether people chose to listen to it in the album or drink it in the water, it was all the same message.
You're feeding them the same message.
It was all the same message.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And so are you self-published?
Yes, but now
this
is under 1&8 Publishing.
Look at that.
So now I have my own publishing company to help other authors.
How did that happen? Because if someone hearing that and like, I have my own publishing company, that doesn't sound like it was an easy feat. Like, how does that happen?
It wasn't, but through everything that I went through that was hard, I just wanted the next person to go through it a little easier. Same thing with 1&8 Records, same thing with radio show, the Alkaline. I always felt like just ownership was the key to everything.
Yeah.
And it definitely wasn't easy, but nothing in life is easy.
So what's your advice then as someone who's looking at this, I'm a poet too, I'm a rapper, I want to do this. What is the first step? What do they need to do?
Find themselves.
Yeah?
Be comfortable with
easy
themselves.
Though,
it does.
That's we hear people say be yourself, but a lot of these kids are searching. They don't know who they are, which is why they're doing all this dumb stuff out here, right?
I'll be honest with you. I was afraid to tell people my name was Amillion when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I hid behind my basketball talent, so I know it's hard.
Yeah.
But once I was able to do that, that's why I said once you find yourself, you have to define yourself. So I don't say it like from a polished standpoint. I say it like, no, I was once that person.
Yeah.
The person who was able to speak in front of you, in front of cameras, without having to think about it, was the person who used to think first. You get what I'm
That's powerful.
saying?
That's
So,
powerful. And this person is Amillion
Definitely.
Mayfield. He is
Yes,
an
ma'am.
author, a CEO, an entrepreneur, a rapper. He's got albums. I mean, he is a renaissance man, and here from the DMV.
thank you so
And
much.
we've only touched on a little part of it because when we come back from this break, he's going to talk about his global reach. He's not just doing things here in our region. He has expanded his territory, and I think it's a higher power that helps you do that too, expand your territory, and that's exactly what he does. When we come back, we'll talk to him about his global reach and his message there. Back after this, you're on with Maureen Umeh.